Ladies and gentlemen, hello. If you're new here, like and subscribe. We are covering the Charlie Kirk tragedy, the unfortunate few days of absolute violent maniacs. If there was ever a time to bring back the asylum, it's now. Call it radical if you want, but we're gonna go over this. Several shootings this week, or well, yes, several shootings, also stabbings. We've had Ukrainian refugees, children, and now very influential people in Charlie Kirk, and at the same time, a shooting at a high school in Colorado. So, when are we going to start talking about the real issue? And it's not guns, it's not the right, it's not the left, it's the mental health. It's the mental health of Americans. That's the real issue, right? Um, we've taken structure out of society. We've allowed maniacs who clearly show signs of being out of their fucking mind from a very young age, and we do not take them out of society. We leave them to vegetate and stew on these fucking ideas. And then they go and do crazy acts of violence. We saw this happen in Minnesota very recently with a transgender person who went and shot up a fucking Catholic place, killing some people and injuring many. That's insane. That should have never fucking happened. This person showed signs of being mentally insane, and it's not because they're trans. Before anybody gets in the comments, it's not because they're trans, it's because they were mentally fucking insane. And we did not take them out of society and throw them in a little box with a Hannibal Lecter ass fucking suit on and fed them medication every day and kept them out of society where they could harm no one, not even themselves. Instead of doing that, uh, instead of taking the hard decision of doing something unfortunate to one single individual, we now impact the lives of many. And that is what happens in the US constantly, over and over. And it doesn't matter skin color, it doesn't matter age, it doesn't matter anything. It doesn't matter anything. If you're fucking mentally insane, you need to be in a institution that is built to handle your mental instability. Plain and simple. Allowing these violent 2%, if you're an Asmongold viewer, you know what I'm talking about. The 2%ers, the Nevrons, as he likes to call them, which I'll have to do a video on him as well because he's also on a hiatus. It's insane. It's insane that we let these fucking people run around in society as if they were a normal, upstanding citizen. It's why? What are we doing? What are we doing? So we're gonna go over this here. RFK Jr. Once again, a bullet has silenced the most eloquent truth teller of an era. My dear friend Charlie Kirk was our country's relentless and courageous crusader for free speech. We pray for Erica. Erica, I'm assuming that must be his wife, and the children. Charlie is already in paradise with the angels. We ask his prayers for our country. Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. And this is the crazy part, right? Nobody had a reason to kill Charlie except for the fact that you disagree with his politics. So somebody went so far insane, so far deep into the political rabbit hole that they thought it was a good idea to take out the opposition through violence. The opposition of whom was your biggest supporter of getting your political ideals out to the masses. Instead of taking the route of courage, the route of strength, the route of persuasion, the route of conviction, and going up to the mic and going one-on-one with Charlie and voicing your political opinions to be, one, critiqued, and two, rebutted against. Instead of doing that, you chose the coward's way, and you chose to stay 200 yards out and kill the man that you were too afraid to stand in front of. That is what it came to. It was a coward. It was a sick individual. And also, this is a side note, but the guy that I've seen going around, that was not the shooter. That guy was simply pretending to be the shooter. I'm assuming this is speculation, but the assumption is he worked with the shooter as a decoy while the shooter had a chance to get away. This is clearly some sort of elevated position of which this person shot down at Charlie. That was like the only way to do it. Long distance, elevated, pinpoint accuracy right into the little tent, or not even a tent, I don't know, like an awning or whatever the fuck it's called, gazebo that Charlie was sitting under at the time. It's appalling. It really is. We will look at the clip here, so I'll give a viewer discretion when we get to that point. Instead of sharing the horrific, vile, and heart-stopping video of Charlie Kirk being shot, I urge you to share images of his beautiful family. No. Well, yes. Yes and no. It needs to get out there. The reason why you share the fact, like the shooting itself, is that even if you convince 1% of people that they've gone too far and they need to fucking return to reality, then that's a good thing. It's not going to martyr anybody. Nobody knows who this guy is. Everybody knows who Charlie is. So the shooter, the one thing I would say is to not reveal the shooter to the world. Do not reveal his ideologies. Do not reveal anything about the guy. Just make him disappear. You find him, you convict him, you make him disappear. The only people who should know about it is her. And I'm assuming his parents and stuff are still alive. So like close family, obviously they have a right to know who did the act. But outside of that, I don't think the media or anybody should know. I think it should just be catch him and bing, make him disappear. Straight up. Mel Gibson weighing in. The brutal murder of Charlie Kirk is nothing short of evil, a cowardly act, exactly, on America's very soul, faith, family, freedom, the right to speak truth, trampled by violence. My blood boils. Justice must be relentless and unforgiving. See, this is what a lot of people don't understand, right? Is Charlie Kirk was your only voice. He was your only voice that was willing as a conservative, because like you have Democrats, you have Republicans, you have liberals who are fucking way out here, you have conservatives who are way out here. Charlie Kirk was your voice all the way out here that would listen to every single person in between these lines, right? If you were a liberal, you could hop on the mic and have a debate with Charlie Kirk. If you were a Democrat, you could hop on the mic and debate Charlie Kirk. If you're a Republican, you could debate Charlie Kirk on the mic. If you're a conservative and you think he's not conservative enough, you could debate him on the mic. He was the most open and peaceful individual that I had ever bear witness to. And it is insane to me. It is insane. Shelly Harmon, a nurse in Oklahoma, made a post celebrating Charlie Kirk's death and wants to start a GoFundMe for the shooter. I mean, obviously this is fucking stupid. I mean, what else you gonna say? Obviously she's a fat Karen fucking retard. And doing this is 100% going to put you out of a job, so we're just gonna let life handle this. I mean, she already fucking hates herself anyway. This is very obvious, so, you know. And clearly the three people that reacted to this agree. So yeah, she's out of a job. This is what Charlie Kirk was wearing today. Yep. Yep. True. Very true. We saw that. R.I.P. Charlie. Abso-fucking-lutely. I don't know who that is.
I'm not a crying man. But I just can't believe this. Yeah, I can't believe it, man. We fight so much on this app. We fight so much on this internet over just frivolous things that's so unimportant. And there
True.
are people out here trying to kill us. And we still try to kill each other. They just shot this man in front of the whole world. I can't even look at the camera, bro, because I'm going to get too emotional about this, bro. But we just got to stick together, man.
See, and the thing is, like, if you look at any other country, when they do a protest, when they are doing any sort of standing up for their country, right? The only flag you ever see is their country's flag. In very rare cases, is there like such a massive divide among its own populace, and that's here. That's here in America. You go to any protest in America, and you'll be lucky if you even see an American flag. That's insane to me. That's insane to me. So here's the deal moving forward. This is going to radicalize the wrong party to radicalize. I mean, the party that is pro-gun is now at a breaking point because of this. Obviously, level heads should prevail. Do I think level heads will prevail? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this act shoved a bunch of people who used to be Democrats. I think they shoved them to the Republican side. I think they shoved even a lot of liberals, I think, aren't even liberals anymore. They're just barely hanging on the left because they don't want nothing to do with it. Because it's messy. It's messy, and it's in front of the whole world. It got national news coverage, and it got overseas coverage. Like, you now put the Liberal Party on a map. And I say the Liberal Party because I don't like considering Democrats and liberals to be in the same party, because I do think Democrats are level-headed people who are willing to have conversation and willing to kind of meet in the middle. But I think the liberals have somehow managed to worm their way in with the Democrats so effectively that, unfortunately, because the liberals are so loud, you can't even hardly tell them apart anymore, because the Democrats are just sitting back in awe. I mean, all the true Democrats spoke up on every social media platform condemning the actions of these liberals. And unfortunately, the Democrats are partly too caught up in it to separate themselves wholly. And I think the same thing should happen with the Republicans, because I do think eventually, y'all can coin this, I think the conservatives and the liberals are going to go at war at some point. Now, it's not going to be like some Civil War thing. I don't think so. I don't think it'll be near that scale. But I do think that push will come to shove at some point, and the two far left and far right sides will collide. And if you're a Republican or Democrat, you need to separate yourself from these radicals as much as possible. So you need to do that. If you don't do that, they are going to bring you into the abyss with them, because they are poison. They are a poison on society. Because honestly, those, if I could snap my fingers, I would bring back the asylums tomorrow. And if you are far right, fucking psycho conservative, instantly in the asylum. If you are far left, psycho liberal, instantly asylum. all of you. Just get rid of all of them. And then the ones who did it as like a face value sort of thing, they'll fucking change their tune real quick once they know that there's actual ramifications and accountability toward their actions. But unfortunately, I do not have that type of power. But that's what I would do. That's what I would do tomorrow. Is I would take all of the toxic one-siders on each side of the spectrum, and I would lock them all up. Fucking, I don't know, put them all in some sort of work camp thing, alligator Alcatraz to make #2 pencils or something. I don't fucking know.
That man is an American hero. If they can do that to him, they can do that to anyone, and they will. This is one of the most significant assassination attempts.
Well, it's not even an attempt. They were successful. They killed him.
Since MLK, this man changed America in ways that he never gets the credit for. I mean, we can credit us even having Gen Z, millennials, and any generation after completely to Charlie Kirk. Thanks to him. This man is an American hero and a God-fearing man. And we all might have some distant differences, but it's time to let them go. It's time to let our differences go.
I agree. Leveler hedge should prevail. Absolutely, they should. But then, like I said, I don't think they will. I think you shot the wrong boy. You shot the wrong golden child, right? I think honestly, this is going to make people so far against everything that Democrats and liberals stand for that y'all are in real fucking trouble now. Y'all are in real trouble. You better hope the justice system saves your ass because I think they're going to try to find any way to destroy you completely. That's all I'm saying. I am completely uninvolved. I will say I've said it several times on this channel that I don't want it to be a political channel, but listen, I'm a very political person, and it is something that I pay very close attention to, and it's getting to the point now where I think it might be. I think there needs to be more voices of reason on each platform, each form of social media to stamp out this far right, this far left, this crazy policy of you got me, I got you fucking bullshit that seems to keep happening. So leveler heads need to prevail, accountability needs to prevail, responsibility needs to prevail, but most importantly, free speech. But yeah, I mean, there's not much else that we're going to go over here on this one.
Father and husband, 31-year-old Charlie Kirk has passed.
So it looks like this is just Dr. Phil's reaction here. Let's see if we can find anything else. Family video there. I mean, obviously, you know, I don't really know what this is, and I don't really care, to be honest. I mean, you can expect people to say crazy fucking shit in light of this. Oh, hold up. Looks like we got something.
It's a tragic day for our nation. And I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination.
When did this come out?
We are
Utah governor
celebrating 250 years of the founding of this great nation. that founding document, the Declaration of Independence, that this great experiment on which we embarked together 250 years ago, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. The first one of those is life. And today, a life was taken. Charlie Kirk was first and foremost a husband and a dad to two young children. He was also very much politically involved, and that's why he was here on campus. Charlie believed in the power of free speech and debate to shape ideas
True.
And to persuade people.
Very true.
Historically, our university campuses in this nation and here in the state of Utah have been the place where truth and ideas are formulated and debated. And that's what he does. He comes on college campuses and he debates. That is foundational to the formation of our country, to our most basic constitutional rights. And when someone takes the life of a person because of their ideas or their ideals, then that very constitutional foundation is threatened.
Yep.
Now, we have a person of interest.
This is what I said before. It looks like they're gonna get into it here, but this is what I said before. But like, there's literally no reason to kill him, none, except if you disagree with him. That's it. That- Other than that, he's a very upstanding citizen, family man, God-fearing man. He is your cookie cutter, straight up American man. And because you disagreed with him, you thought, I need to take this man out. That's insane.
In custody. The investigation is ongoing.
So they did find somebody.
But I want to make it crystal.
Because I know, like, initially they grabbed some old man who fucking did a smokescreen effect to try to get him to pull away from it, which halfway worked. Well, not even half, like 25% of the way worked. And then I didn't see any other updates on anybody else they may have brought in. So we'll look at that here in a minute.
Crystal clear right now. To whoever did this, we will find you.
Okay, so they haven't
We
found
will
him
try
yet.
you. And we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law. And I just want to remind people that we still have the death penalty here in the state of Utah.
Too easy. Too easy. Somebody like this, you lock away in a room of which they cannot end themselves, no matter how hard they try, and you work them to the bone every day. That you want to do punishment. That's how you do punishment. And honestly, I think what they should do is they should make him make MAGA hats and freedom t-shirts. That's what I think they should make him do. Wow. Yeah. So looks like they are still looking for the guy. They have somebody who they think may be involved, but they don't know for sure. Which is scary. Scary to know that this fucking maniac is still out there. Hopefully they get a bit more of a positive hit, and we can kind of get a search going nationwide, find this fucking guy, and get him thrown in bars. Let's see. Promise to never be silent again. And never again live in fear. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I'll check this out a little bit.
I saw the difference Charlie Kirk was making in going around to college campuses to talk to the youth, to talk to the future of America.
Right.
to have a conversation, which is what
That's another big point. I didn't even fucking like it should have been obvious. He was your biggest supporter among youth for conservatives and for getting liberal views out to the world. Charlie was that guy. Whether he won the debate or y'all think he lost the debate, he still was putting your ideas on the map for young ears and eyes to see and hear. You will no longer have that. 100% you will not have that. The conservative backlash from this is probably going to stamp that out completely. Yeah, I just don't see any way where this doesn't end the worst way possible now that you guys have gone too far.
so many people are unwilling and are afraid to do, but Charlie wasn't. And he went around these college campuses and he let kids speak, let them say what was on their mind, give their opinion, and then
Yep.
he gave his with facts as well. He did what so many people refuse to do. He is the reason why my kids decided they wanted to have an interest in politics and at least be educated. Most importantly, he was such a man of God.
Yeah. So like people are going to be consistently putting out these videos here going over these different things. Let's see, what do we got here?
Yeah, I know that it's somewhat object of mockery to say thoughts and prayers, but thoughts and prayers for his family. And they need it from all of us. And Jesse's right. If they could do this, they are capable of anything. I think that was the message. I believe that was the message. It's really hard to radicalize Republicans.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're not the radical type, but
Were you watching the video? Do you remember what I said? Do you remember what I said? Here we go. Here we go.
if you thought that you were going to shut a movement down, you're going to get a rude awakening. You woke us the fuck up.
What did I say? I told you guys that you pushed it too far, right? Innocents have been getting caught up in these mental health, mentally unstable fucking retards, fucking grabbing guns and shooting people for a long time now. But when you take somebody who was as pure as he was and who has in all these kids that have unfortunately met their end to an impure person, it radicalizes people, man. And we're now at a point to where you shot the wrong golden goose. Oh boy.
And we will.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to cover this closely because this is going to be fucking, this is going to be insane. This is going to be absolutely crazy. Alex Jones, I'm sure he's got plenty of shit to say. New York Yankees doing a tribute. That's very cool. Very cool to see. I did see. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it here. I can't even cope with Charlie Kirk. So
Leftist
all right. So welcome to the segment of psychos on the internet.
celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Watch this.
Bye, Charlie Kirk. Like you said, people getting shot in.
There are some very telling signs of people who should be in the asylum right away. If you can look at Exhibit A, right here on the nose, in between the two nostrils, you see the first red flag of instant asylum. Put them in a padded room. Make them make number 2 pencils. Exhibit A.
Kill for the Second Amendment is so worth it. I never thought we'd agree on anything. Bye.
Jesus Christ. Listen, if you're going to put a video on the internet, do some extra steps and do some volume control. My God. Charlie Kirk got shot. My honest reaction. Posting. Okay, so yeah. Obviously, in poor taste. Dude's a fucking loser. All right. Is that Bambi on his shirt? Or what is that? Some sort of fucking lame cartoon fucking shit. So yeah, obviously mentally unwell. So again, yeah, I don't know. I mean, whenever, I don't know. They seem pretty young, so I'm just gonna chalk it up to them just being retarded. Charlie Kirk shot.
I just wanna be part of your symphony.
Okay, so it's just some overweight fucking fugly girl. Sure. Oh.
By the sword, die by the sword. He did say that gun deaths were an acceptable side effect of gun rights. Congratulations to Charlie Kirk for becoming the new poster child for gun awareness and violence.
So, is he? Probably not. If anything, he will probably be the reason that they will now use that violence to remove all of you from having a voice on any platform, unfortunately. So in a way, you're correct, just not in the way that you would like it to be. I think being bullied off of social media is probably the least of your worries now. I'm just being honest, doing a vibe check. This is purely vibe check at this point, because obviously it'll be a few weeks before we really start to see the blowback from this. But vibe check tells me y'all are fucked. See,
Leftists celebrate.
right at the end here. Hold on, let me just go over this real quick. So political blue satire. See, they slide that little satire in there to make sure that like they can cover their ass for when the mob comes after them, because the mob is definitely gonna come after her now for this. In insignificant amount of followers. If any of you have decided that you don't know what you were doing, and maybe you should have unsubscribed from her a long time ago, feel free to come over and subscribe to my channel. We're going to be covering this stuff. I will gladly take you nutcases in and fucking show you how life really works. So yeah, sure, come join the community. Because this community ain't gonna exist much longer anyway.
Leftists celebrating Charlie Kirk's death.
Yeah, obviously there's gonna be a bunch of people on the other side. All jokes aside, obviously there's going to be a bunch of people on the other side that are going to take this as an opportunity to do really stupid things. True. It's no different on the right. Of course, they do the same thing on the right. It's no different. Let's see. They say they are protecting democracy, but Charlie Kirk is dead because he didn't bow down to the woke mob. Tell me again who's spreading hate.
They tell you.
Okay, here we go. What I tell you guys about them fucking getting even more radical than before.
Charlie Kirk was just shot dead. And this is exactly what happens when the media, when the woke mind virus spend years demonizing and vilifying anybody who dares think differently than they do.
Okay, so let me just cover this point really quick before she moves on. Um, I do think that rhetoric plays a role, but I think it's way more, it's way less significant than people are going to try to push it. Um, at the end of the day, you can have all the dangerous rhetoric in the world, but only the mentally ill are going to take that rhetoric as gospel, if that makes sense, which it does make sense. So, try to listen up. But that's the point, right? That's the point. Um, a preacher can't preach without subjects. The only reason these radical people have a platform is because there is enough mentally ill people to fill their platform, right? That is the reason that you see another place that is similar to us as far as like gun ownership and have a different a not a mindset but a different, what would be the a different track record in mental health. They do not have the issues we do when they have the same amount of guns as we do per person or relatively, right? Uh, so then you have to look at, okay, what are the common denominators on all of these incidents? Well, the common denominators is that these motherfuckers are psychopaths. There's no logic that you can apply to these individuals because they're all insane. They all belong in asylums. They all belong in padded rooms away from society, force fed meds, and put to work making number two pencils. That's where these people belong. But we as a society thought it was the moral high ground to allow these people to have freedom. And now innocent people die because of it. And people, wait, what's going on? Why another shooting? Why? Well, it's because you're not dealing with the problem. You're dealing with the symptom and not the problem. Everything around this is symptoms of the problem. And the problem is mental health. It's always been mental health, but nobody's ready to have that fucking conversation. How obvious can it be? You bring back the asylums. You stop giving out medication that messes with the chemicals in your brain like it's fucking candy at a fucking candy store. That's another big thing, which we do have a video coming up. Um, I'm still working on it about ADHD and the overdiagnosis and all that shit. And that's a very like mild form of the proper symptoms because there are actual like crazy psychotic disorders out there that do need people to be put in padded rooms and not to be put on a prescription. Like, for example, schizophrenia. You feed somebody who has schizophrenia radical ideas in the fucking 2 days that they, for some reason, forgot to fill their script and they can't get their meds, they're going to go shoot somebody that day. So, couple things here. One, that person should have been in a padded room before any of this came about. Two, in the hypothetical scenario, that person should have been vetted out from having any sort of access to a gun. The only way that they should have been able to get a gun is through illegal means. Because there are situations where they have not been vetted hard enough. Because, like, obviously, you go through FBI background check and all that stuff, which is pretty thorough background check. But the HIPAA Act prevents people who have these mental disorders from being disclosed to the government and everybody else when they should be. So there needs to be an amendment to that allows like the NRA to access these medical files to that specific thing so they can check for any signs of mental instability. And if you have mental instability at all, banned. Banned from buying or owning a weapon. 100%. 100%. You get rid of the main problem, which is the very big psychos, right? The people who are, if they're off their meds, they're a completely different person. Those people in the asylum making number two pencils. You get rid of those people first. You take the criminals who have multiple fucking charges. Get rid of them next. Those are the ones you throw in prison and you make them make number two pencils in prison. I don't know why. I don't know. Like number two pencils is like the first thing that comes into mind. Um, but yeah, we take these people, we lock them up, we get rid of them, right? Karens, we take all the Karens and we just throw them in jail. And then we make them do prison laundry or something. I don't know. Fucking just get rid of them. Just get rid of them. I don't want to see them. They're just annoying. They're annoying. They're annoying. They suck the fun out of everything.
In a so-called democracy, they tell you tolerance. What they really mean is obedience. They tell you that they're respecting democracy, protecting it even. But what happens when somebody dares?
I do agree with her on this. Each side of the spectrum thinks that they're on the right side of history, and that is the reason that these conflicts come to be. There's not enough people who act as a voice of reason in the middle of either radical side.
Try to defend and educate others on conservative values. Oh, right. Not so tolerant now, are we? Donald Trump gets shot. Charlie Kirk now shot dead. Ask yourself this: when was the last time a conservative targeted and killed a liberal just because they disagreed with them? Good luck trying to find that, especially amongst very high profile liberal creators, liberal commentators, and public people. Time and time.
I'm sure if I did the research, I could probably find some scenarios, right? Maybe, I don't know. But from from the outside of this looking in, because I do not affiliate myself with either side of this fucking political nonsense that y'all are involved in, I simply observe it, right? I'm like looking down at it, like if I was like holding it here and I was just watching it all unfold in front of me, just looking at all the different events and like what thing led to this thing, which led to that thing. Um, from my recollection, from a high profile standpoint, and by high profile, I mean everything from a mass shooting up, I do not remember any conservative or Republican being involved as an active shooter in a situation of which a larger number of people were killed or a high profile person was killed. Um, yeah, majority of these people were all psychopaths who didn't really have a political affiliation. They were just fucking insane. I keep going back to this, like, because they're gonna want to point left, they're gonna want to point right, but the truth is they're mentally fucking insane. They're schizo. They're schizos. They're fucking people with psychosis. They're people with fucking proper mental disorders that are probably, if you actually subpoenaed these medical institutions and forced them to reveal their medical files, I guarantee you could find a mental health problem with each one of these individuals. And sometimes you don't even need to. You could just see the manifesto. So if we're talking like fairly recent, the shooting in Minnesota at that Catholic church, the manifesto that person had released onto the internet, um, or not even manifesto. I think the manifesto wasn't even out yet. It was like before the manifesto. The person was psychotic. They weren't even on either side. They were just straight up nuts. And that's how all of these fucking people are. So it isn't even about left or right. It's just about the fact that they're mentally unwell and they are not being taken out of society before they cause harm. Um, and it's painful to see, like, people are so blinded by this political shit that they cannot see that the real problem is right in front of them. And it could be a fucking snake and it would bite them and they would fucking die because they had no idea it was fucking there.
Time again, conservatives are attacked, we are vilified, censored, and shot dead. And you know what the most deplorable part is? People on the left are celebrating.
That's okay. There would definitely be some people on the right doing the same fucking thing. I'm not going to point one finger or the other from observing the both of you fucking psychopath parties, okay? Both conservatives and liberals both do the same fucking thing to each other 99% of the time. Okay? Um Obviously to varying degrees, right? Uh I do think for a while liberals were definitely way worse. Way worse. And now I would say if I were to okay, hold on. What would be the what's the paint? That's what it is. Okay. So, for example, that way I can get everybody here on the same page. Let's do a doodle here. Doodle doodle. So, um, I would say, it would be like this. I would say liberals were up here. Oh, actually, hold on. How do I make that bigger? Marker. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, I would say liberals were probably up here, and then you would have, let's do, let's do green. I feel like green right now. Then I would say conservatives were probably down here because, like, initially I would say the liberals were way more radical, and then for a little bit there, when they started getting absorbed into the Democratic Party, started going like this, and then it leveled out down here, right? Because you had the reason of the Democratic Party that would ground a lot of the liberals' radical ideas. So you would have your liberals here, your Democrat involvement starting right here, and then we'll go back here. So, like, the Republicans and the conservatives were pretty much fairly involved to one another. So we'll just put RC right here. So, like, they were pretty much intertwined from the start. Um, and then, like, the more that, like, social media got involved with things and things were left out of context, I do think it started radicalizing Republicans a little bit more. And you started seeing, like, the Republicans got left down here and they just kind of continued on this way. Whereas your conservatives split off and they went up here more toward the radical spectrum. But then if we go back to here, I would say that the Democrats stayed down here and then they probably went up a little bit and they were at, like, where the conservatives used to be. But your liberals, they went way the fuck up here. And, like, obviously, like, this is like present day, like current libbies right here. Um, so yeah, if you followed along with that, that's essentially, I think, the trend of radicalization that happened between the groups. So
They're celebrating the murder of a man that they disagree with because he stood up for what he believed in, which was legal, by the way. He stood up for the rule of law. He stood up for.
But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get any more out of that. But yeah, that's about what I thought. Truly great patriot. I am ordering all American flags throughout the United States lowered to half-mast until Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Fucking absolute W, half mass. Um, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I absolutely agree with that. He is a man worthy of respect.
Of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in
Oh
Utah.
boy.
Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year.
This is where I gotta stop you. Everybody knows in their heart what the real answer is. They just don't want to admit it. I've never felt more correct in my life. And I don't expect Trump to see this because he's like very like caught up in his own perspective like everybody else, right? But the truth is, you have a pandemic of fucking mentally unwell psychopaths in your society, and you need to get rid of them. You need to pull them out and get rid of them. Every single one of these guys, beginning to end, had a mental fucking psychotic episode that caused them to do the unthinkable to children, to full grown adults, to prominent figures, to fucking refugees, to just Joe Schmo down the fucking street. All of these people are losing their lives because you don't do the one thing that you have to do. And that's the truth. And these will continue to happen until somebody with the fucking balls sits in that office and puts out the executive order to get these people out of society, to crack down on the medical industry, and to stop flooding our streets with meds that make people mentally unstable, and also deal with the overdiagnosis of these things that cause this mental instability. Because if you take a perfectly sane person and you put them on a psychoactive drug or any sort of drug that messes with your brain chemicals and causes an imbalance, that has in every form of study, both psychology, fucking psychiatric, it doesn't fucking matter, biology, fucking uh basic biology, you can fucking sit in your goddamn high school and you can look at a fucking biology textbook and by going through the chapters, you can see how insanely intricate and balanced the human body is. And if you upset that balance, it always causes massive ramifications. Usually at the cost of force feeding the body a chemical it does not need in excess of, right? So I see this a lot with with people who have different conditions and stuff, that doctors just they don't try to go outside the box to try to help them fix their condition. They don't fucking try to fucking see if they have a deficiency in something, that if maybe they corrected that and they fixed the balance of their body, that maybe their body would start to do what it is meant to do. It's like any other fucking well thought out intricate fucking machine. If you are pushing too much of something or not enough, it is going to cause problems. It's so simple. I don't understand why people fucking overcomplicate this.
in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst.
Also, this is another thing. This is going this is what I'm talking about. I it Looking from the outside in, if I were to say any president was more moderate, it would be Trump. I think a lot of people, and this is why conservatives have also turned on Trump a lot of the time, is because Trump is not conservative enough. For a lot of people, I think they want Trump to be so far right that he does not even remotely acknowledge the left at all. Um, and Trump doesn't really play into that. So it betrays a lot of conservative thinking. So like when he does do something that the conservatives align with, they're cheering him, but the minute that he doesn't do it to the extent that they want him to, they go against him. It's no different than liberals turning on fucking what the fuck is his name? Shit. Bernie Sanders. Like liberals did the same thing to him. They pushed him out of the Democratic Party, and basically made his voice mute because they don't like him because he wasn't liberal enough. Like he's a man of reason who just wants democratic policy to be successful. And he still tackles the base issues that Democrats ran on for however many years that they were successful running on.
Mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today.
It is a symptom. It is a symptom. It is not responsible. It is a symptom.
And it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Y'all are fucking cooked. I'm so glad I'm not involved with this bullshit, dude. I can only imagine being somebody who's like a big, like, liberal content creator. Like, if it was me, like, if I was a big liberal content creator right now, I would move. Literally tomorrow, I will, like, well, probably not tomorrow, but I would fucking lay low and I would very much, like, get my visa if I didn't already have it. And I would go to a country that does not comply with extradition with the US. 100%. 100%. Absolutely not. I would be gone. Because y'all fucked up. Y'all fucked up bad. And keep in mind, right? I said it before earlier in the video that this person politically probably maybe he's liberal, maybe he's not, maybe he's Democrat, maybe he's not, maybe he's Republican, maybe he's conservative. Who knows? Nobody knows anything about the shooter yet. But one thing is for sure is that he's a fucking psychopath. But, and this is the big one, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck because they've been waiting for a reason to pop off and exterminate all of you. And y'all, unfortunately, because the media pushed you guys in such a way, you're fucked. The time for words is over now. There's no going back. Y'all, man. Because you guys associated yourselves with radical ideas and radical agendas, even if you didn't believe in it, even if it was a surface level fucking just buzzword you threw out, you painted yourselves in the wrong light to not now catch the um aftershock of what they are going to now try to push on you. And not even try. They're just going to do it. I mean, they have majority control over everything right now. So y'all are cooked. Y'all are 100% cooked. There's no fail safe for you. There's no district judge, no fucking state judge, no federal judge that is going to stop this from happening now. Because they know if they do, the target will become on their back as well.
Husband and father to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others. Radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. It's gonna be it's probably gonna be a week or two before they really start making moves. But we've been talking about this shit for an hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Um, this shit is fucking crazy. Y'all really are just you're just fucking cooked. You're cooked. Um, if there was ever a wrong move to make, it was this one. It really was. Because like Trump has talked down on people on the left side of things, right? But he's not talking down anymore. He's talking at. Um, y'all all have targets on your back now. And if there's one thing that Trump has shown in this new run of his, it's that he is effective. He's insanely effective. He's so effective, in fact, that he lowered the crime in DC so much that he had them motherfuckers picking flowers and shit. Picking up trash, bro. Oh yeah. There's one more thing. Charlie Kirk, moment of silence. So this happened on was it the House floor or something like that? This here.
What purpose does the gentlelady from Colorado rise? Purpose does the gentlelady from Colorado rise?
So the general lady from Colorado rose and wanted to say a moment of silence and prayer for Charlie Kirk. And immediately liberals chimed in and just fucking lost their shit. Yeah, moment of prayer out loud for Charlie and his family, quote unquote, word for word. And then a bunch of fucking Libby fucking morons chimed in and no, no, no. Lock them the fuck up. This is what I'm talking about. You Libbies, well, not even Libbies. Democrats have allowed liberals to intertwine with them way too closely. Way too closely. You should have stamped them out a long time ago. But you allowed this. You allowed this rot to happen. That's insane.
Let's wait a minute. Wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. The House will be in order.
Christ. Bro, they're back there fucking screaming at each other. Oh my God.
The House will be in order. We will join prayer right after this, okay? What?
See, if I'm that guy and I'm the speaker, I'm literally into that mic. I'm saying, shut the fuck up. Sit the fuck down. We have shit to do. And then we will give prayer or whatever it may be to any necessary party, no matter who they belong to, what they're affiliated with, because it is the correct thing to do, right? An American citizen died. An American citizen should be respected in any form or capacity. Doesn't matter if it's high profile or just Joe Schmo down the block. Some sort of silence should be given if they're religious, a prayer, right? It's the respectful thing to do. Even if you disagree with them politically, whatever it may be, um, it is the respectful thing to do, and it's always been the respectful thing to do. So, you know, but you can't expect liberals to be any sort of cooperative or just decent human beings in general. So, you know, wow. Yeah, that's our leaders. Yep, that's crazy. Anyway, I've been ranting about this bullshit long enough. Yeah. Charlie Kirk, rest in peace. Very quick. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. My thoughts and prayers out to his family, and I really hope them the best moving forward. That hopefully time can help them heal, and hope the kids can realize how much their father meant to so many people in the world and the impact that he has had both here and even I saw some stuff earlier internationally of which everyone is paying a moment of silence and sending their thoughts and prayers out to you. And with best wishes, that's going to be the end of this video. And I suppose I'll catch you guys on the next one, hopefully on something that isn't so serious. Till then, peace.